Welcome back to episode 6 of our Pathfinder Let's Play series. Where we last left off, we just made it out of the tutorial section, I guess. I don't know, maybe this is still the tutorial section. I guess we'll find out as we go. We've got a few tasks to do. It's kind of turned into a bit more of an open world. Oh, it looks like some people want to chat first. Nevia. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Nevia is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. Yeah, I guess I don't get a choice. Oh no, I do actually. I thought she was just starting a ramble. So here's well, she kind of is. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action, but here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Anivia, I'm touched you care so much and think I'm such a valued asset to the team. So, what, do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You? What? No. Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy-like, waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to fight them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get to you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to a pile of ash. Got it? Yeah, that's fair. Everything seems fine here so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So, the rift that damned the beetle left with oh god, I can't read. So, the rift that damned beetle left with its scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's quite difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in the market square. Not that any of them tried to make it, tried to make sure. But if you don't mind, but if you... Oh, jeez, I still can't read. Somebody send help. My coffee's wearing off. I need another one. But if you've got a mind to go across, I think you're going to have to eventually. You might want to give the square a once-over. Okay, I can do that, Anivia. I'd be happy to. So when do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. I think it might not be here. Oh my god. I actually need to just, like, get professional help. My brain. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin. Now they've lost the upper hand, and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off, you should know. After they attack, some things could be changed by recognition. Beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Thanks for the warning. I'll see you later. Oh, right. By the way, I was rummaging through my stash and I found something useful from my old life, so to speak. Here's a little gift from one of the rogues to another. It might come in handy. Hey, Anivia, thanks. 2 scrolls of invisibility and a potion of haste. Love it. Later. Watch yourself out there. Of course. Did I prepare my higher level spell slots? It just occurred to me. Oh, I don't have them yet. Of course not, because I'm a level 3, but I haven't got 3 levels in Wizard yet. Alright. Let's just check those scrolls and write the ones that we've got here into our spellbook, the new ones. Can't write that in, apparently. Can't write that. We've already got Heroism written in. Can't write Cure Let Wounds in. Probably can't write Unbreakable Heart in. Can't learn Remove Fear. Can't learn that. We can probably learn Summon Monster, right? Really? Huh. Well, we can definitely learn Invisibility. That much I know for certain. Or probably... Oh, no, we don't know Sleep. I was going to say, I think we already know Sleep, but I guess not. Alright. Staunton. How you doing? Staunton. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel. One whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Holy shit. Staunton's packing a real sad backstory. Man, I feel for Staunton, because He fell hopelessly head over heels in love with a demon, and it brought ruin to his once great city. I feel for him. Oh, it's you. Good work back there, in the Grey Garrison. Name's Thornton Van, if you've heard the rumors about me. His face, which looks like it has known anything as careless as a smile, has never known anything as careless as a smile. My brain has never known anything as carefree as a correct sentence. He grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. Okay. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The storyteller? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first, I wanted him, and his questions as far away from me as possible. But later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden. A little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind, and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here. I'll show you where it is on your map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he seemed to love the place. He would sit there, day and night. What do people say about you anyway, Staunton? They say I'm a traitor. As bad as Arilu Woljif. That I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned. That Queen Galfrey should have never spared me. That I belong on the gallows. Why do they hate you so much, Staunton? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the world wound, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it, until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so. But the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I have done. So that's how I live. Decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. What are we gonna say to him? Honestly, I don't think it's my place to judge him. I just met the guy, and he sounds like he's doing what he's got to do to earn his honor back. So you know what, Staunton? It's not my place to judge you. Who knows what I would have done in your shoes? Really? Well, that's something, I suppose. A whole city fell because of you. How is that possible, Staunton? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else. Like my little brother, Joran. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you are about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends, do you?
I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the Condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Terrorblade seems to be the only person in this whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her senses of reason in this farce.
So many years in the Condemned. Surely you've paid your penance by now.
That's not up for me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands.
He falls silent for a moment, and then, in a trembling voice, he adds,
The Condemned isn't the worst part. All of these years, I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of the dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? I don't believe in a god. Yeah, let's tell him the advice straight up. Forget about Torag. You're just rubbing salt in the wound. The gods don't care about us. They don't deserve our prayers, let alone our suffering. I can't. An atheist can't understand how it feels when your god renounces you. Just as one who's never loved can never understand how it feels to be loved. Happy when your loved betrays you. Alright, Staunton. I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Man, geez, Staunton's certainly a sad fellow, but I don't blame him after all he's been through. Camellia looks at you, pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that the girl wants to say something, but the pause grows too long, and then slips back into cautious silence. Why don't you tell me about yourself? You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camellia arches a dainty eyebrow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me into battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Okay, but where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Camellia licks her parched lips. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice. But I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? You know, how much she's assuring me it's useless certainly doesn't give me great faith in that. If it weren't useless, you wouldn't have to mention how useless it is, I think. Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Alright, we'll leave her to it. Horgus, can I get my payment? Thank you.
1,000 gold pieces for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid for you escorting me. Horgus Worm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperations...
Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently.
I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services.
What do you mean, a job for someone like me?
For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in a gutter. Or do you have something different?
Or do you think you're somehow something different?
A traveling knight? Perhaps a noble of heart, but without a coin to your name?
Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs.
You seem a reliable enough ally to me. And did you get me out of those mongrel caves? And you did get me out of those mongrel caves. So why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it?
Succeeded on a perception check. Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous, but taking great pains to conceal it.
So, what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have a good reason to return to my mansion here in Kennebrus. I still have... well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building, with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief, fraudster in the city had tried to get inside. One way or another, I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors. That's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust the girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. Marvelous. Most excellent. Horgus's face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once, and return for you there, and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand. But do hurry, unless you want me to lower your reward.
Fair point. Fair point, Horgus. Alright, I really need to make a note to myself to not get up and wander off midway through reading lines for a character. Otherwise, I immediately forget the voice that I had for them. Like, I have this problem even for just, like, the long-running characters. Like, I don't even remember what my own character's voice is meant to sound like. My voices for characters in this are gonna end up wildly offbeat from the beginning to the end. Let's talk to Gremmel Hawks. A strange figure towers over the bar. A huge, ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hands looks dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those calloused fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved with the tanket gleams around his neck. What'll it be? Show me what you have, huh? Seriously though, what you got? Oh, we can bulk sell off all of our crap here. And he sells potions. Wow, wow, he's got a lot of good stuff actually.
You call yourself a bartender? Mate, you've got a whole lot more than just things that we can tend to at the bar. And you're about to have a whole lot of weapons as well. Because we do not need any of this stuff. No, so... Oh, we probably do need the torches, I guess. Then again, though, we always have a spellcaster who can cast light. Do we really need to carry around ever-burning torches? They're £1 each, like... I think the answer is no. So I can do this quickly. Holding shift, maybe. Shift is like... No? Control, Alt, Alt Shift, Control Shift. No, apparently I just have to click on them and click on the move. Oh, we can click space and then it does it. If you click space when that menu pops up, it does the thing. Okay, big money. Nice, we're rich. Learn how to make a simple pastry. Yeah, I want to learn all the recipes. I'm a collector bitch. This is a collectathon game to me. I want to get everything. Bag of holding is going to be really important. We should probably pick up that up first. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, it grants them the ability to cast the following spells. Whoa! That's really good for a cleric. That's actually insane for a cleric. Those are all spells a cleric doesn't get access to, but otherwise could. What's this do? Once per day, you may use this item to grant your party total concealment against range attacks for 1 minute. That's pretty insane, just can't be hit by range attacks. Gloves of the Nephalite. Whenever the spell or the wearer of these gloves casts a cantrip or a first level spell that deals that spell deals 1 additional points of damage per die rolled. Wow, okay, that's actually really good in the early game. I might pick that up actually. It's really powerful with my burning hands. Oh. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna get the bag of holding and we're gonna get those gloves. I don't think we really need anything else. Blur potions would be good, actually. They're just like a good deal in general. Anything else that we need to sell off here? Anything else we could sell off? I suppose we don't need to carry around all these scrolls, but we do need a tiny bit of extra money, so we're going to sell off a few of them, just to even out the money here. Alright, there we go. Okay, that's what we want. Don't think there's anything else I really want to get from here, just for a quick scroll. He doesn't sell scrolls, does he? No, no scrolls. I want to buy scrolls, really. Holy water could come in handy. It's not that great, to be honest, holy water. Alright. Very nice. Very nice. Our burning hands are going to be insane. Alright. We'll learn that as well. Okay, so what else do you have to tell us about? Who are you? The albino slowly takes your measure with his red eyes and finally with a gentle sigh says, Gremel Orcs. Vampire. Vampire, is it? Then pour me a glass of whatever you serve our kind here. Gremel coolly brings out something from under the counter. A flask of cloudy liquid. Here, fresh elf maiden blood. Only for our kind. He's taking the piss, isn't he? I don't believe this. Surely not. How did you end up in the Crusader City? How did anyone end up here? How did you? Or them? With a huge hand, the tavern keeper gestures at the ragtag group assembled in the room. The world is big, but still there isn't a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else. They end up here. You've passed a religion law check. That medallion you're wearing, that's the sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Cillian? Oh, 1 EXP, we earned that. I'm a tavern keeper. Best in the city. The best there's ever been. And I'll pray to the best god there is. Alright. Any news in the city? The albino looks around. There's demons everywhere. And then you showed up. Yeah. Are there any places worth visiting? If you mean places that normal people usually stay well away from, well, there are plenty. Like the Pitaxian's wine cellar. Geralt pauses for effect, like the name of that place alone should make you quiver. I actually do know of that. The city of Pitax was a place in the previous game. It was a city of bards. It once belonged to a Pitaxian trading house. Then King Iriveti came to power in Pitax, and the property started changing hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of him, mind you, just his head. Numarian gangsters have taken possession of the place. They want to sell something stronger than wine on the streets, and they ended up in the gallows. Then King Iriveti's number was up, so now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that a headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly. Oh, and whatnot. After coming to the end of his story, unusually long by his standards, the tavern keeper takes a swig from his tankard. Just don't ask me how to make any noise with no head. Just don't ask me how he makes noise without any head. I wasn't there. I just tell you like I heard it. The tavern keeper sees you off with a subtle twitch of his pale eyebrow. Fair enough. What's in here? I'm gonna take that loot. Loot is good. We need all the loot we can get. No one worth talking to in here. Oh, hold on. Who are you? Jernog. Jernog? Jernag? Jernog. Jernag. It'll be Jernag. Jernag. A young man in well-worn traveling clothes and a simple wooden symbol of Aristil. Is that the elf god? No, that's the it's the god of nature, I believe, or something. Yeah, farming, trade, and hunting. On his chest is efficiently cut. The symbol that's been efficiently cut into the linen robe into strips to use as bandages. Despite his visible exhaustion, he works with zeal, singing some tune about red braids and ripe sheaves. Sheaves of wheat? Is that a thing? I don't know. I've never heard of a sheaf of wheat. Under his breath. He raises his warm, chestnut-colored eyes to you. Excuse me. Are you one of the Crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I am Jernag, servant of Aristil. Pleased to meet you. What are you doing here? I only took my orders recently, so my god has only bestowed a little power of his upon me as of yet. I'm sorry to say that the number of wounded fighters in this tavern is far beyond my powers to heal. But there's a reason people say, have faith in the gods, but look to yourself first. I may not be able to help the wounded with magic, but at least I can cut up bandages. Are you from around here? No. I was just passing through Kenebres. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the Great Selen River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land in the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I'd bargained for. Chili Creek? Where is that? It's a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps, but people do live there. What they don't have is a priest, but they have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial, and the world wound is only a stone throws away. So I'll be setting for sail for Chili Creek to serve my god and my people. Once we've held Kenebres, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we'll all survive this. You should come and visit me sometime. You'll find the village here, on the bank of the river. The priest marks Chili Creek on your map. Hey, nice! We got an extra little location we can check out. I like that. That's why it's always worthwhile chatting to everybody. Aren't you a young and inexperienced cleric, afraid to go to the border of the world wound? I won't lie. I'm afraid. I'm absolutely terrified. But what can I do? Those villagers are simple people. Every day of their short lives is spent doing hard, honest work.
That's exactly the kind of life I want. Something simple but meaningful. If I had centuries ahead of me, like elves do, I might have spread some 50 years or so to travel around the world, the young man says with a smile. Or maybe even 100. Why not? But I don't have time to spare, so I want to spend my short life in the place where I'm needed most. Even if it's dangerous. Especially if it's dangerous. Well, I could use the help of a cleric. Jonah makes a helpless gesture. Aristil knows I'd be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted, and I have no training in potions or scrolls. Ooh, excuse me. See this robe I'm cutting up for bandages? It's the second to last one. Alright, I have to go. May Estrel watch over you. Thank you. Don't mind me as I take your stuff. Mixed spices. Oh, we got all that good spice. Let's check what's in the basement. I wonder if they've got a demon chained up in here. No, no demon. Light shield. Yeah, we'll leave that. We could sell this stuff to the tavern keeper upstairs, but oh man, is that actually a demon chained up in there? That is actually. Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god, dude, they're just tormenting them. You see that, Chief? Don't hit me. Jeez, who is this guy and why is he locked up?
Hey, Chief! Ooh, hey, gorgeous. Come over here.
Ooh.
I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Dang, he cute though. Kinda cute, let's be honest. The young tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively calm for someone in shackles, but his tail whips back and forth in agitation. Noticing your attention, the tiefling sits up and beckons you over.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out.
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Facts. Who are you?
Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
The tiefling rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. I see the problem. Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
You can get a little hung up on the past. I'd say it's kind of important to know why someone's been imprisoned.
He was caught thieving.
Oh, that's fine. I don't respect property laws. What do you want from me anyway?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
So he's probably like a bit like me then, perhaps a wizard and a rogue, or some class that can do both.
What a load of guff. If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Fair enough point.
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Tell me about your shadow. What was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
Alright, I'm actually interested in this. From the curiosity standpoint, I want to get him out of there. I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor.
Irabeth? Oh,
You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put her in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
He's a silver-tongued. I love it. Alright, I'll talk to Irabeth about your situation. I'll even hit him with a sly wink as I walk away.
Knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We'll talk later. Alright. Now let's continue not to respect property laws and start taking all these things. Yeah, don't need that. What's that? Ooh. Might be something important. Looks like it is something important. What does it do? Is that a secret door? Oh. Or outside, huh? Huh. Oh, a puzzle.
That's easy.
Huh. Is there only 3 of these? There appears to only be 3 of them. Alright. So let's go through this systematically then. Okay. All down doesn't work. How about one up here? Nope. How about one down here, one down... Alright, hold on. I don't know if I'm going through this systematically anymore. The system is fucked.
Precisely.
Hold on, I need to change this first, didn't I? I don't even know if I've tried every combination I've done. Usually I go through this systematically, and now the system is just like me randomly pressing buttons. There is no system. No rhyme, no reason, just chaos. Hold on, maybe it's doing something outside. I thought it was going to open up something in here, but maybe we're missing one of the latches or something. Okay. Let's go back in here for now. See if there's anyone else in there to talk to. It doesn't work while he's in there. That could be the problem. Alright, anyone else in here we can chat with? Oh, Anivia. There's Lan. Is Irabeth around here? Irabeth is surely around here. Yes, there we go. Irabeth. Irabeth rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How is the city? Well, I don't really want to talk about the city, per se. There's a tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? Irabeth shrugs scornfully. Woljif is a petty thief from a gang of thievelings operating in Kenabris. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging for us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Irabeth squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead. Take him off our guards' hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief, and I hope the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. Oh, sweet. Go. May Imode keep you safe. Yeah, let's hope so. What's that? Book we can read later. Nice. Helior. Did we talk to Helior already? I don't think we've spoken with them. Let's just sell off this random stuff we just picked up. Don't need that taking up weight. Alright, well, we've acquired a new party member. That's nice. We want all the party members we can get.
Careful now.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
Woljif is sitting in the same place with his tail impatiently batting the floor. I talked to Irabeth, and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
Woljif leaps to his feet, gleefully rubs his
You're
hands.
sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
We shall see, Delvin.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean.
I love
You can't
him.
even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, A little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
Woljif is freed from his shackles and rubs his chafed wrists. He glances around, making sure that no one is listening.
Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
Yeah, I think Woljif is probably going to screw this up. I think he's got a lot of confidence, and it's going to end up into a bloodbath. Maybe not a bloodbath, but I think it's going to be a risky situation. Either way, I'm keen to see how it unfolds. I also want to find out more about this demon. Oh, Len leveled up apparently. Let's hit them up real quick with the level up. Yep, we'll just max out the Zen Archer on them. Oh damn, they get an extra stat, huh? Hold on, they get to use their wisdom on attack rolls, right? Yes, okay, they do. So in that case, we're gonna up the wisdom, because the wisdom is gonna up 3 things. It's gonna up their chance to hit, it's gonna up their AC because they're a monk and they get to add that to their AC, and it's also gonna up their will saving throws, which is currently their lowest saving throw. We could do Dex, which does all that, and they get reflex up, but since the will's the lowest, we're gonna go for that. And as per usual, we go for the same skills. We get a new key power. Chi power, not key. True Strike is really good. Sudden Speed is kind of meh for an archer. Scorching Ray, I think we don't need that. Bark Skin could be good. Bark Skin could be really good, to be honest. But I think True Strike is just a really reliable skill to just have when you need it. To guarantee that they hit it's just good.
That's easy.
Hold on, what classes are they? Eldritch Scoundrel. Alright, that's a classic. Can't go wrong with an Eldritch Scoundrel, honestly. It's a good class. It's not one of my favorites, not one of the best, but it's not bad. They're like a combat wizard, essentially, a battle mage. Alright, is there anyone else in here we ought to speak to? Oh yeah. Keando. Wait a minute, is that the dude from the previous game? No. Alright, who is this? Indara. We haven't seen them before. An imposing young Orid is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on to her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Gistica legionnaires from the last war and the Crusaders. The perfection of the form and the spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now, tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assault, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice. Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it is clear they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly, disheveled halfling monk whose puffy black eyes give him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. It looks like we've got ourselves a student of warfare. The woman gives you a suspicious look and raises an eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements? Or to start a fight the way Mendevian crusaders usually do? One of the crusaders angrily curls his fists tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come of us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern face stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor? I'm not sure what that means. Presumably someone who interjects. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know, those fortifications were defended by the Jistkan priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her hair with a pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom? Is that the city at the center of the world? Okay, it's a big city. The woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Inadara, a warrior, a magus, and a scholar of the classical warfare of Garand. The woman peers at you, apprehensively, then sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Avastan's isolation from the sophisticated cultures of the world at large. You've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Glorian, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war. The confrontation between the denizens of the plains, famous for its love of violence, and the crusaders from every continent, united by a common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions. That hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. The pink-eyed monk with a black eye, he's called pink eye, I don't know, he has a black eye, mutters under his breath, maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. That was a very bad halfling impression. The woman smirks, contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of a comment. It looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No. I am a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Gistakar. The pink-eyed monk with a oh my god, they never mention the fact he has a pink eye. It's always, his name is Pink Eye, but they don't call him that. The monk with a damaged eye grins slyly and comments, the more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find a clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war you mentioned? The last war of Gistakar, of course. a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Assyrian pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Gisticum Imperium, an epic struggle that began the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all that conflicts followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I am witnessing here. Why did you find the last war of Gisticum so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying, monstrous birds of prey to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having to cover your ears to block out the sounds of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Gisticum, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its masters wanted it to kill. Imagine all these terrors. Understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horrors of the nightmares that were made real. Now, how do you know so much about this Gisticum war? I can say, without false modesty, that there is no more authoritative researcher on Glorian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to the subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the Shuri Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator-class combat golem that guard the Gisticum laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of the pestilence that devastated the Gisticum Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I'm telling you about. I think she's still wrong to be treating these crusaders with such disdain. Allow me to explain why. Oh, a debate. Oh, I will be happy to prove that the current conflict cannot hold a candle to the last war of Gisticum. Very well. The last war of Gisticum was a war raged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfect through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to the war of yours. Compared to the Gisticum, we are but stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of the wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will need to comprehend the true genius of his statement, but here it is nevertheless. A gadfly sees the ox. The ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but Crimson Fever takes them both. Right. So ultimately they're talking about the plague that they've developed. What can we say here? The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That is what you fail to grasp. The principles of the war are always the same. Weapons, causes, and resources may change, but no, I think this is the one, honestly. Versus, yeah, I want to make this point. We failed, goddammit. What did we roll? No, it's not, can we tell? I rolled a 2. Nice. We only had to roll a 5 or higher. Said she, standing in the middle of a dingy tavern. Indarev graciously accepts the chuckling of her audience. One mustn't overestimate the importance of the current events for world history. Should Kenebres fall, it will become yet another page in the chronicles of the World-Wound conflict. Should it endure, it will be fortunate to earn any mention at all. Well, maybe I'll try and make my point instead. The monk with a black eye stifles a giggle and looks like he wanted to say something, but ultimately holds it back himself. Alright, let's try this. We succeeded. Indara's eyes display frustration as she hears the audience, clearly impressed by your argument, murmuring approval. There is a logic in your words. I give you that. Yes, the concept of war does not change, but the degree of sophistication in the methods that we use to destroy our foes. The woman stops, realizing her words. No matter how ostentatious she makes them, no longer have the power to captivate the audience. Indara offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact and evidential base that grows more meager the further the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimarch by adding a dozen Baelors, for example. I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I'm forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusades, then? I don't see the point. Your Crusades appear to be quite confident in your skills. If nothing else, you've presented your arguments to me with extreme confidence. Edith unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. There's a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also for the wise. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It's about time I got back to my research. The hint of a smile graces Indara's lips when she sees disappointment in your eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe. Well, what did we just get? Oh, is she just teleporting out of here? She is. Look at that. Very nice. So what did we just get? Ooh, was this it? The Claw of Gistakar. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. That is a very, very powerful weapon to get at this stage in the game, and we already know who it's going to. They can take these, right? Wait, do they have like a dagger focus? Is that why they're dueling daggers? Hold on, how do I check this? Alright, here we go. 2-weapon fighting, double slice. No, doesn't look like they have a dagger focus. Yep. Looks like they are just, they can use this short sword. Oh, hold on. No, they do have finesse training with daggers at the moment, and they don't get new finesse training till a higher level. But at the same time, I don't think there's anyone who's better suited to taking this weapon. Feasibly speaking, they're not actually going to be getting that much extra damage from doing this. And it's more reliable damage when they're using daggers. 6 to 9 versus 3 to 13. Maybe we should be trying putting this on our rapier. Nope, she can't use it. Okay. Well, maybe our paladin starts wielding this instead then. Honestly, it's probably best on the paladin at this point. It's better off than this weapon, right? It literally does like... Yeah, it's like the same damage, except worse crit... well, actually, the crit chance is better. So, you don't get as much crit damage, but more crits more often, and we get extra shield, so that's probably good. Make them tank. I suppose the downside is when we enlarge them, this only becomes a D8 versus 2D8 that we get here. No one else can really wield the short sword though, unfortunately. I could go in with it, but I'd be pretty useless. Oh, then again, I suppose I could go in and use it. I do get weapon finesse from it, right? Yeah. All right. You know what? We could run with that. We don't have other abilities, and we got a fair bit of health, honestly. So I think this is fine, and a lot of AC on this character. I think this is worthwhile. Alright, well, I think we've spoken to just about everyone in here. There's a few other people that we haven't really touched on, but I think we're going to wrap up this episode here, and we'll explore more of the town in the next one. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next episode.